This is one I'm going to do uh, later than I did yesterday. This is the 1980s movies that came out on TV. It wasn't in theaters. Of The Incredible Hulk Returns. That's what we're doing today, the first one. We'll do a trial of The Incredible Hulk tomorrow. This movie is about 90 minutes, 93 minutes, and it has Lou Ferrigno, Bill Bixby, and Jack Colvin and Jack Colvin, and also Eric Kramer as Thor. Yeah, before Chris Hemsworth, we had him, the father from Good Luck Charlie, is Thor here. But anyway, let's get to the movie. And be civil in the chat or be gone, because I don't want to hear it today. It's the first day of fall, so let's get this done. I wanted to do a couple of Marvel movies before I go to the convention in 2 weeks, so this is it. It's got the opening of the show. I'll leave it. Mm-hmm. He looks like Bill Bixby looks like Hugh Jackman. I don't know if that's a coincidence or what, but I saw some episodes of the show, but it's really slow. Yep, the Incredible Hulk returns. Just like me sometimes. That's why I'm wearing green for the occasion. Be angry. We wouldn't want to be angry. The next movie has Daredevil in it, but the costume is very cheap. They also have the death of the Incredible Hulk, but it doesn't make any sense. The Hulk is not supposed to die. He's indestructible. He's not supposed to die. David Banner can die. David Bruce Banner can die. This had a bigger budget than the show, and it's a longer movie because the show was like the pilot was about 90 minutes, but each episode was about 45 minutes. Uh, Flashbacks. I haven't seen this movie in years. I think I bought this at Best Buy a long time ago before they closed and before they got rid of their physical media, which is stupid because I still buy stuff. Charles Napier's in this movie. May he rest in peace. Most of these actors, except for Ferrigno, he's still around. Tim Thomerson, he's still around too. Jack LeBlanc. Eric Kramer as Thor. This is his first role. Steve Levitt as Donald Blake. And I will say there's more Hulk in this movie than the Red Hulk in Captain America. Dog. Good morning. It is morning. It's 11:50. Coffee. Yeah, there's definitely a bigger budget because in the 70s, a lot of shows didn't have big budgets. It was the 80s and onward that shows started to get a budget. Women do taste good. See, I said it. What are you gonna do? You're gonna cancel me like you did with Jimmy Kimmel? I'm not going anywhere, guys. I will always be in front of a camera. It's what I do. I'm not preaching. I'm entertaining, because God knows people need it more than, especially the weirdos out there. They need something to occupy their time. That this was in the 80s, I can tell. Feminine Wiles, that's good. These aren't widescreen because they're on TV. So TVs weren't widescreen in the 80s. We didn't have letterbox movies until like the 90s when Laserdisc came out, DVD, and then Blu-ray in the 2000s, and now 4K. Even though not everything's going to get a 4K. You can. Because I'm not doing this for algorithms or critics. I'm doing this for me. I deserve it after the year I've had. My summer was a disaster after the month of August. It really was. After the first week of August, it all went downhill. Thankfully, in the fall, I have a lot to look forward to. Why? Because I'm going to Comic Con in a few weeks. I'm not staying here. Also, this is a Marvel movie that has nothing to do with the MCU. Because this was in the 80s. There was no MCU in the 80s. We didn't get it until 20 years later in 2008. And now people are tired of it because we're getting the same freaking movies with characters that people are not connecting with. Chef of the future. Me too. I'm not. I'm not shutting off the chat this time because I'm like I don't care what happens. I'm gonna keep the chat on because this is a short movie anyway. It's way shorter than Cliffhanger. That was an hour and 45 minutes. Close enough. This is only an hour and 30. Yeah, they made Thor look like a Viking in this version instead of the Norse god of Asgard. Because there's no Asgard here. Again, they didn't have the budget for that in 1980, whatever this was. Hey, Network 98, what's up? Long time no see. Bill Bixby directed this movie. Well, not this movie. He directed the second movie. This one was directed by Nicholas Correa. He directed this one. Bixby directed The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. That has Daredevil. There's disagreeing with people, and then there's being a D-bag. And I don't need that this month. With the rest of the month and in October, don't need it. This is still less boring than the 2003 movie. That movie bored me to death. It's so long. Oh my god, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes and it did not. It's bloated. Call it just chilling. I was in Florida for a week. Yeah, it's fine. I took a break, Network 98. You didn't miss any podcasts last week. I did one yesterday. That's it. Because the stress of summer just killed me. It almost killed me. A cure or a phone call? Because I didn't see this movie as a kid. It came out when I was a kid, but I didn't see the. I saw animated Marvel shows in the 90s, like Spider Man and X Men. The Ang Lee movie is just, it's boring, man. It's so boring. It takes 45 minutes for the Hulk to show up. And it's a feature film in the theaters. A TV movie has its excuses, budget restraints, running time, but what about in a movie in the theaters? You don't have excuses. There wasn't no excuse to put the Red Hulk at the end of the movie in Captain America. They should have waited 20 minutes and he should have showed up, not wait until the end of the film. We're not stupid. You're not going to fool me again. If Spider-Man is not in his own movie next year, I quit. I'm never watching an MCU movie in the theater again. And I mean it this time. Because this year I skipped Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, and I'm not the only one. I'm not the only ones. Because those movies sucked. They flopped at the box office compared to other movies this year. And Superman was the big summer superhero movie. It gave me hope. His initials. Yeah, Batman and Robin did forget what superhero movies because that was in 1997 when they weren't dominating the box office anymore. It wasn't until Blade came out that it was a lesser budget and it did better because it was good. For compared to Batman and Robin, it was shorter. It had better effects at the time, except for some of the CG. And Wesley Snipes cared back then. He was a bankable star compared to George Clooney was not bankable at that time. Well, gee, I gotta get that signed at Comic-Con. From Menger, the girl that was Xi Ling from Shang-Chi. She's gonna be at the convention in a couple of weeks. Hopefully she doesn't cancel. I want to meet an Asian girl. That's a girl of color, not a white girl, because I met mostly white girls at Comic-Con since 2019. I want to meet somebody of color this year, at least one or two people. Or all. It doesn't matter. As long as they're not a foreigner with an accent I can't understand, I will be just fine. I know Menger's from China, but it doesn't bother me because she's cute and I want to meet her. Hold on. Is this the same cover? No. I'll just take the cover off. She could sign this because she's right here. She's right on the cover. So she could sign this for me at the convention since she's on the cover. The slipcase, I'll just leave it at home because I don't want it to get wet. Yeah, because the thing is, I want to meet her. You know, Menger's gonna go. Sumu, I saw at the basketball game way back in February, so I don't have to meet him. Plus, he's too expensive. Try to make serious characters comedians. It bothers me if they do it wrong. Deadpool was always a comedic character, so trying to make him serious just doesn't won't work. He's a comedic character in the comics, video games, etc. But when Batman, they only made it only worked once with a comedy in the '60s show, not in Batman and Robin. Bat credit card. What the hell were you thinking? Yeah, because she's on the cover of that, so I'll let her sign that. He looks like Alex Winter. It's not him though. I still need to see that '70s Doctor Strange movie that came out back then. You know, I haven't seen it, but I'm not doing a podcast for it. I'm just gonna watch it once. Bruce Banner is his real name. David is his father's name, David Banner. Because the thing is that I want to do podcasts for my subscribers and my viewers. I'm not doing it for the algorithm. I don't care if I get 2 views for this. That's still better than people that channels have been dormant for years. Flashback. Yeah, it takes a while for the Hulk to show up again because they focus on Bruce Banner's story. And I probably won't watch another Zack Snyder release because Rebel Moon was a disaster. I didn't see the director's cut of either one of them. I saw them. I thought they were passable, but they could have been better and shorter. Can't wait to go to the convention. It's been so long since I got to a convention. It's been 3 months. That felt like 3 years. That's my biggest fault with Zach. He thinks his movies 24 hours releases. Yeah, it's just his movies. He slows down a movie by putting slow mo in scenes that don't need slow mo. When they did it back in the '90s, they did it for something awesome like The Matrix or a Terminator or something like that. You don't slow down a movie like this. People just. I'm like, if you're not the Flash, don't do that. Or Sonic. Stop trying to stop time because you can't do it. It's impossible. Nobody can stop time. You can't even slow it down. You can only push the clock back every when daylight savings time ends. He thinks making a movie long will make it epic. No, sir, it's not. Fire. hmm This is a flashback. So it's got a some expedition they did up in the mountains in the snow like Cliffhanger, except they show tombs here, not a cave full of bats. Hell yeah. God of Thunder. Demigod. I know what it is. Skeletons. You know, I'm glad I could do these podcasts. There's Milnir, the Hammer. I'm so glad my brother doesn't live here anymore because he would have interrupted me doing these podcasts. Thankfully, he won't see him again for a month or so. Yeah, probably till October. Because he's not going to Comic Con. I am. My sister and my dad are going separately. Joel Schumacher was a good filmmaker. Yeah, before he passed away. You're not worthy. At least something is happening. Unlike Jurassic World Rebirth, where it takes almost an hour for something to happen. There's Thor. He enters into the movie 20 minutes in. Not a long wait. They show Thor's backstory. It's a little different than the MCU. I gotta do the first Thor movie sometime. But I'm gonna have to watch it digitally because I don't have the digital copy or the DVD of Thor or Thor the Dark World. Ragnarok, I have the DVD of that one. And that first Thor movie was a surprise. Some people called it boring. I'm like, guys, the first Thor movie's still the best one. I really enjoyed Ragnarok, but it leads up to Love and Thunder, and people hated that. I didn't hate it, but because you have Natalie Portman, but it had a lot of problems. In Endgame, you know what the good cause. I know. I gotta cut my hair before Comic Con, and I don't want to look like this. Hey, Darius. And Thor and Hulk had a rivalry in the first Avengers movie. That worked because it was funny. There's the hammer. I don't like sand. I'm now appearances. Last time I was here. Oh, good for you. Congrats, Darius. Here comes Thor. In this version, he has to go, oh, dude! And like, that's laughable, man. But at least Thor shows up. There he is, 25 minutes into the movie. Not an hour, Hollywood. In his first role before American Reunion, American Pie, American, what was it, American Wedding, and Good Luck Charlie. At least you did something with your time, unlike some people this year, where they just want to get arrested and be in the paper. Thor is very real, and this is what Thor looked like before the Chris Hemsworth version. No British accent, no armor. Like, he looks like a Viking here. That's not a soda machine. Harmless? No. hmm You're making him angry. It's a good actor. I don't know why they wasted him in a Disney Channel show. I would love to meet him at a Comic-Con because he's part of the nerd zeitgeist since he was in this and American Wedding, even though it's the weakest of the three films that came out. American Pie, Pie 2, and then Wedding. Mainly because half the cast was missing. I don't know why. Thor, you again. Why did you do that? My 1 year anniversary of my wife is almost this month. Good for you, Darius. At least you did something with your time. You didn't make excuses like some people here on this platform. You made him angry. Now he's gonna beat the crap out of you. Or Banner. It's just like in Avengers. Yep, there it is. My green eyes. See, there it is. The green back. The shirt's ripped. Again, run. That's awesome. Look at my hairy chest. Ferrigno's still alive, yeah. And so is Eric Kramer. See, 28 minutes in. That will seem like an eternity for some people, but it's not 45 minutes. 2003 Hulk. That's not for you guys. That's for Ang Lee and the writers. Thinking, you know what was going to make a Hulk movie good? Let's bore people for 45 minutes and then he shows up. I don't want to wait that long. I have ADHD. Thor can take him. Did you see the comics? Here, see, this is slow-mo done better, Zack Snyder. If he made this movie, it would be 3 hours long. Good, campy fun, man. The effects, while some of them are dated, they still use practical effects. There's no CGI here. I love Eric Kramer's manly shout. He's really good as Thor in this movie. Yeah, he really is. Because he got the assignment. And they use Marvel characters here. Here we have Thor. The second movie is there. It's not a troll. Yep, again. The second one has Daredevil, but it's a way cheaper version than the Charlie Cox. And I prefer it. I'm sorry. Charlie Cox is not my Daredevil. My Daredevil is not British, okay? That's what I have to say to you, Charlie. He's going to be at the convention. I'm not going to meet him. I don't meet Brits. I'm biased. I'm the most biased person in all of the land. I'd rather meet an Asian girl than meet a Brit. Sorry, just not my thing. And Tom Holland's not going to be at Comic-Con. He just got injured. Recovered soon, Tom Holland, because he got injured on the set of Spider-Man. Get well soon and keep the production going. Sorry that happened. It's not a troll. It's the cops. Hulk has no friends. Again, run. Did you see the ending of the first season of Gen 5? Yeah. People were getting obliterated, getting shattered to pieces, or their heads blown off. Yeah, I need to take a break from that show. It's way too violent. I need to see something lighter for the rest of September. I'm like, good God, there's so much blood in this show. It's over the top with the violence, and I'm like, here, no, it's very mild violence. There's no gore here. I want to see something lighter after. Thor will be back. He's not a cameo. Should start their own family. Yeah, they should. And not be ashamed of it. There he is, running in bare feet. At least it's not in the middle of Manhattan like in that last episode I saw. And that's it. Commercial break. That would have been the commercial break because it's a TV movie. I didn't see it though. There's Thor. Look at his hair. Zack Snyder, it started existing after Sucker Punch. Yeah, that movie still is most disappointing. As much as people hate on Rebel Moon, I'm like, what were you expecting, guys? It's on Netflix. It wasn't a theatrical release. Sucker Punch was in the theater. I saw it and I was depressed when it was over. I wasn't having fun. I was depressed. You kill half of your girls off, and the one survivor is an Australian chick I could not care less about. Abby Cornish. Sorry, not a fan. Mechanics. I'm not gonna deny myself. I'm gonna make sure that I get something done at Comic Con this year and meet more than one person. Because last year I only met two people, and one of them the line was way too long. It was over 2 hours, and I was like, yeah, that's too long. Troll. Hulk is not a troll. He's a monster. Darius did something with his time. He didn't make excuses. I want to procreate, or at least adopt a kid. Kid, not baby, kid. Because a baby, it's going to be a kid, at least will be potty trained, and I don't have to deal with changing diapers. I don't want to change diapers. I have to change the bathroom bag every day. Because reasons. We're 34 minutes in, 34. He sounds like Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill has that kind of voice. McGee is barely in this movie. He's like in the second half of it. The guy that stalks Banner. I miss you, Bill Bixby. But Hugh Jackman is keeping your Marvel DNA alive. Everything Bill Bixby set up, Hugh Jackman took the ball and ran with it in the year 2000 when they cast him as Wolverine. I'm glad he was the Wolverine, not Dougray Scott. I can't see Dougray Scott as Wolverine. Jackman is Wolverine. Once he put that mask on last year, I'm like, that's Wolverine, guys. Despite how tall he is, that's comic book accurate Wolverine's look. We're about a third of the way through the movie. You better be civil, Joshua. I'm gonna block you. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I didn't want to talk to you. I'm staying away from Facebook today to avoid conference. There's McGee. 35 minutes in. Yeah, I'm wearing Hulk green colors. See? Monster Mash in Los Angeles. No, that's not till October. There's Tim Thomerson. Yeah, I thought that was Bill Paxton. No, it's not him. He didn't do a lot of TV movies. He did a couple of TV shows, but not TV movies. He mostly did theatrical releases. Oh wait, I have a blue pen. I gotta take out my blue pen. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I'm the doll man. I'm Jack Death. Don't mess with me. Thomerson's a great actor, even to this day. You can't compare this to the MCU because this doesn't have a $200 million budget. This budget is a TV budget for both of these and the Death of the Incredible Hulk. That I can say at least it had a smaller budget than any Marvel movie this year. $200 million to have a CGI baby? Really? CGI baby. Not monsters or space or the thing, no. A CGI baby. SpongeBob's cinematic universe has been disappointing since the fun out of water. Well, I did like the Plankton movie. I thought that was really funny because it was a Plankton movie, not really SpongeBob movie. He's in it, but it's more about Plankton. The other one I didn't see, the Sandy Cheeks movie, I skipped it. Camp Coral, I skipped it. The Patrick Star Show, I skipped it because I'm not a kid anymore. When the first SpongeBob came out in 1999, I was 14. Now I'm older. Sponge on the Run I thought was decent, but it could have been better. The villain kind of sucked. It was a gay genie from Aladdin. No thanks. Another commercial break. It's clown. Because there was some disappointments, but I didn't hate Sponge on the Run. It just wasn't as good as Out of Water because it was during the pandemic. It didn't even get released here in the U.S. It got released in Canada only. Because we've come a long way since. It's a giraffe. And then that still makes me laugh. Why? Because it's wrong. It's funny. It's an actual joke. It's not something that people need to analyze to death. I mean, there's a freaking Gabby Dollhouse movie coming out this year. Gabby Dollhouse. The only G-rated movie coming out for months. Because G-rated movies usually don't even get released anymore. in theaters. Everything is PG, PG-13 or R, or something else. Yeah, it's like Beetlejuice. No, he doesn't. In this continuity, he does. Not in the MCU. Only Kevin Feige and the directors and writers control Thor. Hopefully, they won't get Taika Waititi back. I don't want him back. He ruined the franchise with Love and Thunder's trying to be like Batman and Robin. I'm like, no, that's not what we wanted. We wanted a sequel to Ragnarok and be awesome. The Guardians were barely in the movie, so Karen, you can't say she was terrible. She was barely in it. No Gamora, because she was still dead from Endgame, well, from Infinity War. And then they underused Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher. Say what you will about Harrison Ford, he wasn't underused in Captain America. He was in it more than 5 minutes. And then you kill off Natalie Portman. I love her, guys. I love her in everything I've seen her in. Since Phantom Menace, I'm in love with her. Why would I want to see her die again? Just like in Revenge of the Sith. That was insulting to me. You bring Lady Thor into the remix and then she dies. I don't hate that movie, but I get why a lot of people did. Ragnarok was just so much better. And Shang-Chi, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man Brand New Day is not going to be like that, because it's already supposed to be goofy. Spidey is a comedic character. He's not going to be a drama, because then you got other characters that are dramatic. He's not Moon Knight. Moon Knight is not comedic at all. He's barely comedic. My least favorite MCU movie because at least Quantumania and the Marvels were shorter. Yeah, I agree with that. And also Network 98. I still think the worst one is the Eternals. I was so bored. I felt like I was in the theater for 3 hours. I'm like, oh my god, just end already, please. Plus, it was the gayest MCU movie, and it was not needed. Sorry. You didn't need to put a gay couple in a freaking MCU movie. How dare you? What's what we call it? I forgot her name. Chloe Zhao, whoever directed it. Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself. I don't care if that's the atmosphere we live in. I don't need the Loud House in a freaking Marvel movie, okay? With Clyde's parents. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't want it. I don't need it. I can handle Luna Loud, but I can't handle a gay couple in a freaking movie. A married couple. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's pandering, and you don't need it. That's why the movie flopped critically. I'm never doing a podcast for Eternals. That movie is horrible. Horrible. Yeah, me too. Yeah, he looks just like Alex Winter. It's weird. I bet they wanted Alex Winter, but he was doing Bill and Ted. And so he was like, yeah, and also Lost Boys. So they had to get an actor that looks like him. Eternals is a long setup for, well, I don't even know what. No, there was nothing. The only thing mentioned in the Eternals was that big freaking hand in the sky that they showed at the end of that movie. That giant wannabe Galactus that was in the Captain America movie. That is the only thing that was mentioned in Phase 5 from Eternals. They didn't mention Cersei or any of these other characters. It bored me to death. And they were going to put Star Fox as played by a singer? Yeah, no. Fail. taking his helmet off. 45 minutes in, we're about halfway through the movie. It's really good in the film. People can call Iron Man 2 an Avengers sequel, but you can know I got a soft spot. No, that introduced us to Black Widow, the real Black Widow, not that knockoff Yelena that we don't care about. And I saw Scarlett in that costume, and I couldn't move. I was seeing that in a theater full of men, and we were gawking. We were like that wolf in that Tex Avery cartoon with our eyes bulging out of our sockets. Yeah, it was like that. She came in with that sexy outfit, and I couldn't move. It still turns me on, still to this day. Okay, back to the movie. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Laugh with a woman. Did you hear what he said? Yeah. I want to laugh with a girl. Why not? Girls like a sense of humor. Hmm. A bar? Yep, a bar, all right. A biker bar. I first saw Elizabeth Olsen in Godzilla. That's what I saw her in before, well, right after Winter Soldier, where she was just a cameo. The store also doesn't have facial hair. Him and Aquaman like to drink. Montage. Man, it's a pint of beer. Wow. He's chugging that down like Kool-Aid. This is more Thor's movie than the Hulk, but you know, it's only because Ferrigno couldn't be in that makeup for too long. And they didn't have CGI like in the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008 or Hulk in the Avengers. Have Thor and Wanda even talked to each other once? I don't even know. Because I know that Hawkeye talked to her, and of course Quicksilver before he died, and Vision, and also Cap. The store's fun. But they don't do like in an '80s R-rated movie where they show boobs and other things. No, because this is mostly family friendly, except the drinking. That's all. It's a good song too. You're not gonna hurt him. He just decked him right in the face. Did Will I Am even have a role that actually had reasoning in X-Men Origins? No. He was there for recognition. That's it. They needed a black guy because they didn't have Storm or even Darwin in First Class, so they had to get some big black celebrity singer or rapper or whatever and throw him in there. Yeah, because he's in Black Eyed Peas, right? Yeah, I know. That first Thor movie could have been a disaster. It was not. That movie, that movie made more than Thunderbolts. Think about that. The guy that has thunder coming out of his hammer made more money than a Thunderbolts movie. That movie was 14 years ago. I wasn't even on YouTube yet at that time. Yeah, Gambit was awesome in Deadpool and Wolverine because they did it right. They got the look, they got the accent, they got a good actor to play him, and they gave him a memorable line like, that, you know how long I've been waiting for this? Ooh, I'm gonna have make my name up in here. Like that's how you do Gambit. That's the Gambit from the cartoon that I love, and in the video games as well. Yeah, that's why they can do Iceman. You don't have to make him naked. Just give him something to do in the X-Men. Hey, cab, yeah, you don't have those anymore. They're called lifts or Ubers. Yeah, this is more Thor's movie than Hulk's because they focus on him a lot. But I like Thor, so it's all good. Let me get up for a second. There's Charles Napier. He's in a movie finally. 53 minutes into the movie. I think he was doing Ernest Goes to Jail or something, or Rambo. He was doing one of the Rambo films. We don't have one black hero. We got plenty, because Blade is still there. The DCU has Mr. Terrific, which I can't wait to see more of him, and we have Cyborg. They're probably going to recast him. There's plenty. I'm glad I started this late. I don't want to start this at 10 o'clock. It's 12:41 now. I'm not as tired as yesterday because I was exhausted yesterday after doing all that work. This is a sting operation. Blade is coming. One way or another, even if they have to recast and get a 30-year-old black man, they're going to get Blade into the MCU, one way or another. But after seeing him again in Blade in Deadpool Wolverine, so Wesley Snipes finally put his ego to the side and they gave him something to do, unlike Expendables 3 where they give him nothing. This feels like a subplot, this scene with Charles Napier, because he comes so late in the film that, again, you can't kill him. Yep, they're going to anger him. This is called The Incredible Hulk Returns, and we haven't seen Hulk for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. It was mostly about Thor. They had to give him something to do. Yep, you're all toast. What are you smiling at? Look who's behind you. And yes, Ferrigno voiced Hulk in some of the MCU films. That guy was in RoboCop 2. Yeah, that's right. Run, the cowards. What was that flip he did? What are you doing, gymnastics? What? This movie is held up pretty well for something I haven't seen in years. Take that. Yep, Charles Napier, get him. I miss Charles Napier. But he has to get his in this movie. Well, they got away. He got to beat some guys up. I'll see with Hulk on the beach now. So far, I haven't got an MCU movie signed at Comic-Con. A lot of people buy, hey puppy, a lot of people buy Captain America's Shield to get signed at Comic-Con, but it's so big, I don't want to take it. It's way too big. I'd rather take a DVD or a Blu-ray. So far, I got my 2 DC movies signed. My Power Rangers DVD. My video game of Kingdom Hearts 2. My Detective Pikachu Blu-ray. And my Blu-ray for Ghostbusters 2. And my DVD of Undercover Brother. So far, there's no Marvel movies. This will be my first, hopefully. It's a golden retriever. And commercial break. Not here though, because it's a DVD. There are no ads, no commercial breaks, and no buffering. I got to do the first transfers in November for Christmas and July. Oh, before Christmas, because it's a Christmas movie. I did 2 and 3 already, so I got to do the first one. That's it, though. I'm not doing 4 and 5. They're bad. And 6 is not even worth it because it's a spin-off without Tim Thomerson. So it's not even worth it. Thomerson's not Cajun. I think he's from California. Cajuns are from like Louisiana or something. They don't curse in this movie. It's a family film mostly. Because Transfers 4 and 5 were filmed in Romania, and it's a western. It's just really boring. The first three had like a nice sci-fi action speed to it. And Megan Ward's birthday's coming up. She is so yummy. I'm gonna post pictures of her in a few days. We're an hour in. Helicopter. He's with a redhead here. No, it's not Wanda. It's some other girl. And they shot Maggie. She's not from the comics. Good thing they didn't do this in the MCU. It would have been ridiculous. That's funny because this is not a comedy, but it's got some comedic things in it that make me laugh. And they angered him. Good stunt, by the way. They went through glass. McGee kind of disappears into the movie because he's just more of a cameo. Yep, you can't put the Hulk asleep unless you touch his hand. That's right, Thor. Get him. At least this movie doesn't look like a CGI cartoon like Eternals. Once we got to that final battle, I was so bored. I was just waiting for the movie to end. You waste Angelina Jolie. You waste Leah McHugh. You waste freaking Kumail Nanjiani. Why would you waste him? He got built for that movie for nothing, to do a dance scene and be like, nah, I'm done. Ridiculous is one thing, and then being completely incompetent is another. Get up, Hulk. Get up. This is probably the best Incredible Hulk movie that was on TV out of the three that came out. Definitely. I think the next one's decent. I just don't. Daredevil's costume looks really weird. It looks so cheap. It looks like a black pajama. Hulk and Thor together on the screen, small screen. They tranquilized her. They would never do this in a movie today. Yeah, this ridiculous could be fun like this, but then it could be completely stupid, like in Fast and the Furious, where they went from racing to cartoon superheroes. You know, Vin Diesel is not the Hulk, guys. He was Groot, not the Hulk. Just remember that. Writer of the Flash movie, Christina Hodson, who should never write again because she can't write. This looks better than the 2003. Oh, Spidey, a million times yes. Because the Hulk's in it way more and it's not boring. Even when Hulk's not on screen, you have Thor. And Thor's fun. He's a strong enough character to carry a movie. We've seen it 3 times now. Look at my muscles. That's a great shot. And the commercial break, guys, because this was a TV movie. It still counts, though. It's got the Marvel name. It counts. hmm There's McGee in his final appearance in the film. Because he's not the villain. He's just trying to get a story. At least he's not played by an Australian that sounds bored out of his mind. Like, Tuppence, you're making me angry. It's awful. Eric Bana's performance is so bad. He was so flat he was recast twice. Edward Norton in the 2008 movie and then Mark Ruffalo, who did great. Even though Ruffalo looks really old now because he's aged. That away. A Viking. He's not a Viking. Travis Willingham said, I am not a Viking. He's not. He's not a Viking. Thor's a demigod from Norse mythology. And this is way better than Son of the Mask, where they mention Odin and Loki, and it's terrible. Andy Delphin did the score, but I forgot it because it's not as iconic as Spider-Man. And then you have and that too. It's so bad. Middle Eastern music. Why is that in a Hulk movie? I don't know. Because it was after 9/11. That's why. Trust me, that already happened this year with the MCU. 3 flops in a row. 3. Not one of them made money. Yet Superman, that movie made money, and I'm getting the Blu-ray soon. I just ordered it last night. I'm very happy. Hey, shirtless scene. Man, Thor is ripped in this movie. Not as ripped as... He's not as ripped as Chris Hemsworth, but he's still... Kramer was very stacked back in 1980 something. Years. It is. It comes from pipes, Thor. Showers are a good thing. I shower every day, every day or two. I have to. Hulk returning to the Avengers Doomsday. I just hope they don't screw that up. Because they're trying to add so much to the movie like it's Endgame, and you're not going to be Endgame. 68 minutes. This Hulk was second to 2008's Hulk, yeah. I am not looking for a man. Because I'm not gay, I'm not queer, I'm not bisexual. Can you tell? You can't look at him. You walked outside in a towel and no shirt. That's about as subtle as a commercial for a men's fragrance. Banner, not Banyan. Yeah, Bill Bixby was underrated because he was probably the most tragic Bruce Banner that we've ever seen. Was considered for the role of Kitty Pryde. Yeah, she would have been better. It's just she was doing Taken. Well, the first Taken was filmed around '06 or '07, and then the writer's strike happened. So yeah, she probably was too old for the role. But she's better because she's actually female. Ellen still thinks she's a dude. Yeah, you're not a dude. You're a woman. Stop kidding yourself. Stop trying to fool people at Comic Con. My name is Elliot. No, it's not. It's Ellen. I know who the real you. You're a female Canadian girl. Yeah, you're a female Canadian that is completely confused. How do you work with Christopher Nolan in Inception and then you forget what you are? You freaking idiot. We're 72 minutes in now. They do crazy thing when they're confused. I'm not confused. I know exactly what I am and who I am. I'm not schizo. When I dress up at Comic Con, I'm cosplaying. In a way. I don't go to a convention without my costume. I love costumes. I love the recognition. I haven't seen the Dead of Incredible Hulk. I'm going to wait till after the convention. I don't want to be in a sour mood. The fall just started and I don't want to be depressed. I've been depressed enough in the summer. I'm not going to be depressed. The summer, just after what happened to my mom, it bummed me out. She's still alive. It's just that what happened to her could have been avoided. It's not going to happen to me. "74 minutes left. Well, of the movie that we're through. We only got a few minutes left. Commercial break. And no, this is not on Disney Plus or Hulu or Netflix or Tubi. You know, oh no, it's on Tubi, I think, but not. It's not on major streaming services. I think it's only on for free on Tubi with ads. I agree with that, Thor. That still will never be fun. Will never stop being funny. Oh! Yes, he is. And at least this is watchable, unlike She-Hulk, where I'm like, this effects look bad, and she's trying to copy Deadpool. You're not Deadpool. Sorry, nobody can be Deadpool. Only Ryan Reynolds can be Deadpool at this point. There is a Gwenpool, but she's a different character. She's not as violent and over the top as Deadpool. She's a lot lighter. She's also got her quirks, but she's not as dark as Deadpool. Because in the comics, Deadpool is a psychopath, but they wanted us to root for him, so they made him less crazy and they made him more, funny. And they stuck to the breaking of the fourth wall, funny guy. That's what we love about Deadpool. Smart Hulk worked in Endgame because there was a lot of science behind the time travel, and that worked because I was invested. I was not invested in boring British people trying to do Game of Thrones in space with Eternals. I'm sorry. That's not what I signed up for, Marvel. And I don't want to see Brits pretending to be Russian in Thunderbolts, or Brits pretending to be Johnny Storm and Invisible Woman. Yeah, you are invisible to me, Vanessa Kirby. You always were. I never liked you. Even in Mission Impossible Fallout, I'm like, that movie would have been better if you did not exist in it. You and the turkey are the worst parts of Mission Impossible now. You kill off Rebecca Ferguson, which you should not have done, and then you wonder why the eighth film flopped. Too long, too expensive, and not enough fan service. Anyway, back to the movie. We're 77 minutes in. It was the most boring Marvel movie I've ever seen in the theater. That's why with Spider-Man I was concerned. I was like, No Way Home better not be like this, and it was not. They did a 180 and made it funny, interesting, and emotional for me, and nostalgic without beating me over the head with it. Because I saw the Sam Raimi movies in the theater. I did, all of them. No Way Home was the best movie of the year. I wish I could go back and watch it again. I will before the no a brand new day comes out next year. Because yeah, Tom Holland got hurt, but he'll be okay. It wasn't anything life threatening. Tom Holland got injured, yeah, doing a stunt in the new movie. There's Thor for the last scene in the third act. Hmm. So can I. He's got a lot of charisma, as Thor. This movie was the best of the 3 TV movies of the trial. Yeah, it is. The trial, because the trial of the Incredible Hulk, not trail, trial. It's a bit slow, and then Daredevil is not as used. He's not used as much as Thor in this movie because he's blind. That's why. And people were blind to cast Charlie Cox in the first place on Netflix. Again, why would you anger him? You're an idiot. Mm-hmm. Hulk is hulking out. The power of my arms. Ben Affleck should have returned. Charlie Cox is just, he doesn't do it for me. He just doesn't. He doesn't. Too many Brits are getting on roles, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. That's why I was so happy when Cornswick replaced the Cavill. I was like, thank God I don't have to see a Brit play Superman again, because I don't need it. It was killing me. That's what killed the DCEU. Let's face it. It was not just Zack Snyder. He didn't direct Wonder Woman 1984 or Suicide Squad. No, he started the debacle, but Cavill was the one that killed it for me from the beginning. It's not a troll. This is the third act. Millie has to do a lot to impress me next year in Supergirl. Because that movie can go either way. It can either be as good as Superman or be a lesser version. I don't want another disaster like with the 1984 film. Because that movie had potential to do well. But it came out after Superman 3. Yep, there's a nod to Cap. He has a shield. Or Wonder Woman. Hell yeah, buddy. Kramer's having a ball with this role. It really is. And it's his first role on TV. That's right. Hit him right in the gut. Yep. Take this beam. It's not a real beam, or that would have broken that guy's shoulder. Oh! Clothesline. They do slow-mo here, but it's not in every scene. Get him, Hulk. My issue is not even the director, because it's not the same writers from Cruella. It's a different writers. And at least Christina Hodgson is not writing it. Or that sexist writer from Booksmart, Katie Silberman, where she has to put agendas in her freaking scripts. No. Don't need it. That's why I skipped Don't Worry Darling, because there's no Caitlin Dever in it. Booksmart is what she saved that movie. For me. It's a real car. It's not CGI. There's no CG here. Yep. Whee! That was a real car they used to flip over. In slow-mo. Let's take that, Zack Snyder. Yes! That's right. Cheer, buddy. She can't do everything, but guess what? She can do me anytime. This is so gorgeous, man. I want to see her in Godzilla Supernova. Not watching it for Dan Stevens. He sucked in the last movie. He thinks he's like, I'm so cool because I'm British. I'm like, yeah, yes. Suck it, buddy. You're not Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, that's a great pose. Hulk smash. Gosh, I love that. She has a guy, but will it last long? I don't know. Emily Osment got married and she's single again. Look at that face. Yep, a woman's face. Ferrigno knows what that is. He wouldn't harm a woman unless she's shooting him. Because the Hulk did try to chase Black Widow, but again, that's because she was in the way. He wouldn't harm her, despite that, because he doesn't harm, women. He didn't punch Wanda or anything, or like Captain Marvel. That is funny. Bill Bixby was way better than Eric Bana. Yeah, because he's not a zombie. He's not hiding in exit for 2 hours. Yeah, we gotta save your... That's right, Hulk. Pose. And I liked Miss Marvel. They mentioned the Hulk. The Hulk. Even though she didn't want to be Hulk. She wanted to be Captain Marvel. And I get it. Brie Larson is a catch. She's not married yet. Yeah, that was a pretty decent fight. For a TV movie, yeah. I've seen worse fights. She-Hulk, the fight was like less than 30 seconds. What a tease. Yeah, you can't. Only Kevin Feige controls what happens to the MCU, and when he's gone, they'll have to get a new chairman of the board of Marvel. New leadership, like James Gunn is with DC. Even though he's not directing Supergirl or anything else, he's still in charge. That's awesome. Running in the sun, and you can see them. They're not covered in darkness. And that was... Wait, is it over? No, there's a last scene. There's no Marvel stinger here because this is a... Not a Viking. This is when phones were inside of cars. Now phones are wireless. This is fun. I'm glad I had to do it. Not as fun as a really loud house, but a haunted house. But what's gonna top that, guys? Nothing. You have 11 girls. You have 10 beautiful girls. Some are kids and some are beautiful women, and they make me laugh and they make me smile. There's nothing threatening about that. I'm not Justin Roiland. He got canceled because he's an idiot. That is kind of funny. Gabriel. This movie does have its moments, man. It really does. It's fun. It's not depressing. The show is way more depressing because you feel bad for Banner. It's like Elio. The whole time this kid's crying, I'm like, why is this main character so sad? Thor's running with a dog. That's cool. Whoopee whoopee! I did exercise today. McGee is barely in this movie. Oh, yep. Yep, he looks. Because this movie doesn't have it doesn't have Jane Foster or what's her face what was it Lady Sif, which I would love to have seen here because I'm like, yeah, Jamie Alexander is just gorgeous, man. Because he has that dark hair and that exotic looking face. I don't talk about her much, but I should. I'm gonna do the first Thor movie and just gawk at her beautiful face. That's my preference, guys. Sorry, I'm never gonna change that. He's a fun Thor. He definitely set the stage high for Chris Hemsworth. Because only voice actors have voiced Thor before Chris Hemsworth played him. Yeah. Yeah, Eric Kramer really sold this. So long, not Alex Winter, because he looks just like him. It's like the curly hair, the eyes, just not the voice. They probably wanted Alex Winter, but he was just too busy. This is fun. Oh no! Yeah, when Caitlyn shows up in little shorts like Karen in Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, yeah, you'll see. Because if she's gonna be with Kong and Godzilla, they got to give her something sexy that I'm gonna just drive me wild. I don't want her depressed. She was already depressing enough in The Last of Us because she lost her family. I get it. I get it. They shouldn't have killed Joel in the second episode. That was a big mistake. The second episode, not the finale, the second episode, and they wonder why it failed. A nice quiet moment ends the movie, so that's good. There's a shot of the beach. Dun, dun, dun. There's the piano music. Dun, dun, dun. It's a nice piece, even though it's more of a sad song. Bye, dog. It's a nice piano piece. And that was the Incredible Hulk Returns. It's fun. It was a fun movie. I like rewatching this. Again, it's been years. Rest in peace, Bill Bixby. I miss you, man. And that's it. Let me just take this out. It's about 93 minutes on the button, if you don't count the end credits, right? And that's it. I can stop it here. Tomorrow I'll be seeing the trial of the Incredible Hulk and continue this, train leading up to Comic-Con, because I'm going in 2 weeks from this Friday. I'm very happy about that. So thanks for watching. Acknowledge me, and tomorrow we'll be doing the sequel, The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. See you then. Bye.